2018, we thought about how to shift this particular approach, and Zoho came into our rescue. Is there how many anybody is using Zoho books, Zoho expenses? Zoho is having multiple products. I'm not, I'm a user of Zoho, so that's why I'm just saying it. So how many of them are using it? You can just ping in the chat box. You can just say, I just want to get an idea. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, let me continue. So the advantage with Zoho, one of the biggest advantage with Zoho was it is a SaaS model organization. SaaS means software as a services, which is basically email based. So what we did is we procured the Zoho expenses and integrated with the books, and then set up the entire policy, whatever the HR policy or expense reimbursement policy, travel policy, all these policies we fine tune it into the Zoho's portal, expense portal, by getting and it's not that it's not expensive as well, and partners are doing it at a very low cost, and they set it up. The moment they set it up, our expense reimbursement, which used to happen every 15 days, sometimes it used to go for a month, and it become an issue, and we reduce the time from 15 to 1 month to a week. So now our system is, the moment a person submitted their claim, it will go to the respective hierarchy, like it will go to the respective project manager or whatever it is, and immediately once it is approved, it will come to the finance just approve it and process the payment. So we reduce the time from 1 month to 1 week. So that is a way we need to find it out, optimization. But having said that, when you are procuring all these tools, there is a balance of cost versus benefit that all of you need to evaluate, especially if organizations are registered under FCRA and all, because there is a cap of administrative expenses. So we need to think about, when you are buying, optimization of cost of what is called software, buying of software, etc. The element of cost versus benefit, you need to find it out depending upon your organization. If it is a CSR funding organization, yes, you need to optimize it. There are restrictions, and you need to balance between cost versus benefit. This is one of the biggest thing. So what we did is, gradually we integrated the Zoho expenses to the Zoho books, and the user means the person who is in the ground. When he submit this claim, automatically the system will take it till the books of accounts, and once you make the payment, it will intimate the beneficiary or the user as well. That is how we optimized the expenses. Similarly, we did the HR processes and even the payroll as well. So right now our books of accounts is ready within 7 days, from the end of the month. And it has a lot of benefits of, you can do all the approvals, you can do all the process flows, even through the mobile apps as well. So it becomes very handy for the people who are on the project, as well as people who are on traveling, or people who are on the administrative side as well. This is one such experience which I want to share with all of you. Think about it. If it is workable for your organization, depending upon the cost and everything, it is good. This is one thing. Okay, I just want to share this experience before we go into the questions as well. Take a note of this particular aspect of cost versus benefit. This is one of the thing, and I am sure many of the grants, they may not allow for the, but there is a cap of, in many occasions you might have seen that people are allowing 10% or 20% for the administrative benefits. So within that we need to work around. On now, I think let's move into the questions, because rather than
let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anyone from Summer Charitable Trust here? What I saw.
need help with establish a vendor repository as working in remote area. I think this is one of the questions they gave, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Provide guidance. Can you just give me a little bit of context if that person is there here?
Hi, do we have anyone from Samarth on the call? Just check. Danishka, is someone from Samarth with us? Okay, let's maybe then move on to the next while we are. Anybody from Sanjeevni Vikas, Evam Jan Kalyan?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Hi, Ravi. So you've asked us for best practices in audit and any technology tool that can be integrated. Could you probably then give the context of the question to Arun so that we can take this up?
एक्चुअली मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग था कि किस तरीके से हम डॉक्यूमेंटेशंस को करें रिलेटेड टू द एक्टिविटीज जो भी बजट्स में दी हुई रहती कि किस तरीके की सपोर्टिंग हम उसमें ऐड कर सकें कि वो ऑडिट के टाइम में या फिर जब भी मॉनिटरिंग होती है ऑडिट में इसको लेके प्रोजेक्ट्स को लेके अकाउंट्स को लेके तो बेस्ट क्या हो सकता है इस तरीके से डॉक्यूमेंटेशन
if it is related to documentations, please go through one thing. This is just for everybody's information. Under the Income Tax Act, okay, there is rule number, I remember it is 17AA. If I remember, I can just check it and let you know. Or rather, after this, I can just make a small note and circulate among all of you what are the documents to be kept. There is a specific direction. What does it mean by books of accounts? Okay, please follow that particular thing. Books of accounts, what is books of accounts is clearly defined under the Income Tax Act. There are categorizations given. It is, if it is related to the collection, what sort of documents you should keep. If it is related to the project related expenses, what sort of expenditure you should have, cash book, general ledger, etc., etc. There is a whole list of category. And if you are doing with specified persons, there are some categories which is given. You need to be well aware of that provisions. If you follow that, okay, which is enough. That is what is called the books of accounts under the Income Tax Act. Follow that with necessary supporting. When you are saying, I hope you don't have GST. Do you have GST registration as well?
No.
Ravi? Okay. So you are a bit safe side then. Because if you have GST, then you know the requirement of GST is another plethora of items. So follow the income tax, what is it called, sections which is clearly exempt you in connection with the expenditure as well as income. Follow that. That is enough for covering the supporting documents. I will do one thing. Post this particular call, we will just make a small note on books of accounts and share it with all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And one more thing, audit technology need help to improve finance bill management. Is it related to the day-to-day expenditure bill management? That is what you meant by this one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. That okay. In that, I will cover all these points in that particular note and share it with you.
Sure. Thank you.
I mean, not to one person. I'm talking about this. I will share it with all of you. That's what.
Yes.
So, who else is who wants to take the next call? I mean, next question. In the sense.
Yes. Is there anybody from Yuva Unstoppable? Yes.
Who is that?
Oh, I thought I heard someone. There's Devendra from Sanjeevni. Okay, beyond the questions that we have questions from RO Foundation, Samarth, Yuva Unstoppable, Harsha Trust. Beyond these organizations, also, if anybody from these organizations here, we'll take up your question first, and if not, can we have like questions from the cohort as well?
Anybody is using chat GPTs and all? The AI technologies, anybody is using it in your organization or?
Yes, I
Okay, under which area you are using it?
generally in email, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I'm talking about beyond emails.
So only emails.
Yeah.
I think Mohammed from Samarth is here. All right. So in that case, maybe if we want, let's take the questions and then look at if anybody has anything to add. So Yuva Unstoppable had asked for some tools for finance management which are cost effective. Do you need more context, Arun? Do you wanna?
So, okay, from my experience, especially in the NGO segment, okay, one is the MIS report. There are two ways to look into this one because earlier I think we all used to have the practice of creating the Excel sheets with multiple, approaches and everything. Nowadays, many of the organization has shifted from the dashboard system. It will be either in the Power BI or it will be in the Zoho analytics. There are multiple tools available, and in the Zoho, so what we developed. Okay, I'm just, as I said, I'm just sharing this particular information based on our experience. We are basically working like a product development organizations too. So we are more into innovative ideas on what is it called, the presentation. So one thing which we did is, as I said rightly, we used to close our books of accounts before 7th. That is a strict deadline. Post that, our cutoff date for presenting to the management about each initiative with a detailed analysis is before 15th. So before 15th, what we used to do is we have developed a system in Power BI which is integrated between the Zoho and the Power BI, which will give a complete picture of financial information related to the organization till that particular date, till that particular previous month. So one such thing which all of you can innovatively think about is presenting as a dashboard of the financial information. That is one such tool. When you are saying tool, there are tools which is for presentations and tools which is for financial analysis. What sort of financial analysis you are doing it here? That is what I want to ask. If it is just a presentation, yes, Power BI, all these tools are there. But if it is a analysis, project by project analysis, or is it a presentation to the donor, then it is a different thing. Then even we are also doing it in the Excel sheets. There is no innovative tool. The reason for that particular thing is, unfortunately in India, the requirements, the statutory requirements versus the internal reporting, there is a big gap. So because of that particular thing, we are also using the Excel sheets for the presentation or rather the financial analysis methods. But presentations, we are using for all the financial analysis presentation, we are using the tools like Power BI or Zoho Analytics, etc. I'm not sure whether you got the answers or your expectations was this, or if it is beyond. Just share with me the questions more detailed, then I can give you more answers as well.
Fair enough. I think if anybody from Yuva Unstoppable is here, would you like to add anything else? You've also asked about the CRM implementation. I think
Oh, yeah.
if they want to get it reviewed, I think they might have to sort of also talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, that is. Look, I'm not an expert in CRM to be. I'm a finance person, but I can facilitate that particular aspect. I mean, we can just work around on that one. But I think basically, to my knowledge, the CRM which all of you are using, or whoever is using it, is just to get the data and the status of that particular program. Are we doing it beyond that particular thing? I don't know. I'm just asking this question to the floor. Can anybody give me more insights into that question? Then I can answer more, with more insights onto that one.
Anybody here who's using any
CRM?
software? Anything for your daily?
Anybody?
Any organization.
Yeah, CRM. Anybody is using it? Let's talk on CRM itself, because financial tools and all, generally everybody is using it. CRM is one thing which many of them are required, but I'm not sure whether anyone is using it.
So
in terms of CRM, actually we are not maintaining, but we are maintaining the customer or any partner's relationship, the data which is in the Excel format or in inbuilt kind of sheet, data sheet only.
Okay. So how are you measuring? Okay, let me ask one question. So at each stage of the, process flow of that beneficiary.
So in general, so we had kept a kind of some certain guidelines, like in stage 1, the data of the relevant person, and the stage 2, like contact is contacted or not contacted, like that, and the stage 3 has submitted the proposal or not, like that, and the stage 4 is it in under process or like that. That is some certain stages, up to like 10 stages which we kept, and until the 10th stage if we reach, if it is until success or failure, we will be ultimate result, we will be, it is in loop or it is in submitted or got the proposal or something like that, that we will be conclude, we give that is just.
So basically you internally developed and then kept it in Excel sheets, am I right?
Yes, exactly like that.
I think the purpose of CRM is more or less same. Whatever you said is exactly the CRM purposes which many of the organizations are using. If you are having large volume, maybe Excel may not be.
That definitely I agreed with that. Until 100, 200 or 500, even 500 also it will be more difficult to handle. Until 100 and 200 relations to particular activity or some particular thing, then it will be very helpful, like economically viable compared to like no need to
you are right.
develop.
You are right. So like in our case, we are handling with, let's say, 100 and each cohort. Not cohort, altogether I can say around 2 to 300,000 students' data. When we are handling it, it is not easy for us to handle it in Excel. Chances of error, sharing data, all sort of challenges are there. So those places we can use CRM. Yes, you are right. But if it is 100, 200, I think Excel will be the best options. Because there is no point in investing that much money in CRM. But having said that, another thought which all of you can give is, whenever you are interacting with all these CRM providers, the large CRM providers, they are all having not-for-profit benefits. Okay, there are discounts associated with that one, and if it is large number of users, I heard that one they are providing for free as well. So work around on that particular thing if it is beneficial to you, and even if it is 20-30% discount, many of the products are giving it when you are approaching it as a social organization. So that also you can explore it.
But as and just one thought I want to add is how the first of all NGOs should understand how the CRM is related to the NGO sector. Then it will be useful to the that is.
Absolutely. All the tools, to that matter, all the tools. Like why we use, I mean, in our organization, why we use Zoho, Zoho expenses is because Zoho expense, they call it as Zoho expenses, is because we are facing a challenge on reimbursement across India. Our office is in Bangalore, and sending all these documents from their side to Bangalore, etc., etc., it's a challenge. So the options which we identified is because our operation is like that one. So each organization has to evaluate their requirement. It is not some, unfortunately, NGO sector is not like a for-profit organization where you can copy paste something. Each organization's business ideas and approaches are different. So optimizing the cost as well as the requirements is one big challenge. So that's what I said. Generally, we can say that CRM is one thing which is using for this purposes. It is good, etc. But having said that, if you are not dealing with, like, let us say, not dealing with the number of students or number of, like large volume of numbers, then there is no point in investing in or thinking about CRM. So there is a evaluation you need to conduct. I think someone else was talking in between. So is there any other, anybody is having any challenges which is facing on a day-to-day basis? One question interesting question which I see in one of the, this one is Arog Foundation. They asked a question, assist with the GST integration in the budgetary process. I'm sure many of you are facing this. I mean, is it correct that those who are having registered with GST, they will be facing these challenges in terms of input tax credit? How do you include it in the budget, etc., etc.? If it is not, then I don't want to confuse you also. That's another thing.
No, actually, most of the NGOs nowadays, actually, GST, they're not entering into that kind of big well. So, actually, as usual, you said that input tax every month, 2 times return. So many things it is there. And so, that also in under CSR activities which they are doing, we cannot show those things anyway. So the most of the NGOs are not entered GST.
Yeah, true.
Officially.
Okay, I'll park that question then separately because that is very tricky question. Tricky in the sense there is no hard and fast rule available in the market. So it just based on the past trends you need to see and then evaluate yourselves and then appropriately allocate a percentage of that while doing the budget, and against that you, when the actual comes, you need to allocate. There is no hard and fast rule on that. I mean, I don't want to confuse people because if they are not exposed to the GST or NGOs, then let's not talk on that one. It will be more confusing to many people.
Yeah, and if anybody from RO Foundation's here, then Vivek is here. I think so. Yeah, I don't think Vivek is here. Okay, let's then move on to any other questions. We'll keep the floor open. Gupta ji, which organization are you from?
From FXB. Yes,
FXB. Okay. We're not able to.
Is there any FCRA organizations here too? Those who are having FCRA.
I think many of them are.
So how are you managing? Let me ask you. I mean, can anyone answer? I have a question. How are you classifying this 80-20 method, the administrative expenses restriction of 20%? But before that one, whether I mean, I don't know whether it's going to be a law-based discussion to technology or technology.
No, actually, these big questions can answer the higher management level, those who are implementing the financial thing, dealing with the donors, those things. Then most of the people attending these are a mid-level management team or then that.
Okay. Okay, then I will hold on. Okay, so then I have another question. How are you when you are entering a transactions? Other than again the problem, the question itself is having a bit of a. It may be different for different people, but again I am raising the question: are you classifying the expenses when you are entering it, or are you classifying it at the time of during audits, or considering it as a bulk? How is it being done? You can type it, you can chat it, because you don't need to talk if you are having.
Making budget.
Sorry?
At the time making budget for the FCRA.
Not FCR. At the time of entering the transactions, you are classifying it, isn't it?
Because we follow the budget. So we, the starting May, we prepare the budget as 80-20 and then follow the same.
Okay. Okay, I'm not talking about the budget. Budget is different, but that's fine. Budget and, I mean, I'm talking about the actuals when you are entering it. Actuals at the time of entering, you are classifying it as project and administrative expenses as per the definition. That's what you are following.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's a good practice. Yes. I mean, it should be that should be the practice. Everybody should follow it. But some tools may not permit it. That's another big problem, which is many of them are facing it. Or rather, the setup was not done properly. So the tools will not give the accurate report. Another person asked a question: provide guidance on Tally ERP security. There are two aspects to this one. Tally ERP security, if you are asking for the security of the product as such, then I am not the right person to answer. I can't answer to that particular thing, because Tally ERP, how it is, what it is, that and all technical persons can say. The other question is, if you are thinking about from a user perspective, then there is an option which is available, because especially for Section 8 company, audit trail is required, and then user definition is required. All these are checking nowadays. So each user can define that in Tally itself, and then security measures can be fixed it. That option is available. That's the only answer which I can give, because technologically, if you are asking me how the security system of Tally, then I am not the right person to answer. More robust technology that can be integrated at affordable cost. Yes, there are tools which is available even with Tally itself. There are support system, or rather there are tools available to integrate into the Tally itself. Simple example is, I think, certain invoice formats. If it is specifically customization, etc., there are tools available which you can procure it separately and then do that one. It is there. Even not only in Tally, in many software I have seen, it is there. Integration is not a challenge nowadays. If the system doesn't have the integration capacity, there are tools available which can talk to both the software. Like, let us say, X software you bought it, which is not integrating, which is not able to integrate it with Tally. You can have tools or products which is available, which will talk to both the softwares and integrate it. Which is
just I want to add you, like in reference and Vyapar, these also free invoices, development the data which the customer relations, also they offered, like references they will be reminder also if there is any pendings is there, like we have to give, so those are offer now, like similar. Excluding tally. Tally is anyway, that is different.
Yeah. Okay. No, more tools are there. Tools is not the issue. The requirement study is one thing which all of you need to do that one. What is that you need it? Make it very clear.
Oh,
Otherwise, I mean, you need to define the scope. That scope has to be very clear. What is that you need it? Final output, you identify it, and then backward. There are a lot of tools available which we can facilitate it, or we can discuss it on a case-to-case basis. Generally, I can say that yes, tools are available, like what we discussed right now. Zoho is one thing which we are using it effectively, and right now we are using not only in India. So our operations is not within India. We have organizations outside India also. There also we are using this expense, and to that surprise, all the LATAM countries, all the Southeast Asia countries and Middle East, and even US, everything is integrated, so it's easy for us to operate. So there are tools available in the market. Your requirement analysis is what gives you the best tool. Any other questions? Because I'm just
meeting আসলে আছে
Yeah, anybody from Arpan, Abudai,
হ্যাঁ
Aiden.
কালি যাম দে এই লোগাটো কিমান লৈছে লোগাটো
I think we've had some questions from DSC and Citizen Centum also about how the process can be a lot more robust and how the documentation can be improved and probably streamlined. So are you looking at a technology angle for this? Is there anything that we can answer in this session for that? Centum, DSC and Citizen.
Centum. Did they share the questions here?
So this was this was a part of like they had asked these questions that is under finance but not directly under technology integration, and we discussed like financial process, like how best they can go about the process. So if they want to make it robust in terms of technology, they can probably chip in, is what I thought.
So look, I will tell you, post-corona, there are a lot of changes in terms of, even during audits as well. Many of you might have come across this issue. Earlier, we used to be all the NGOs, or even our organization also, the auditors were very stringent and they used to come, sit and validate it, everything, paper they need it, etc., etc. Having said that, nowadays it's shifted from, paper to digital. So what in many of the organizations, what even the audits are being conducted through electronics media nowadays. Even large organizations, auditors are not visiting the place and then checking it like what it used to be nowadays. So example, again, I'm coming to the Zoho, since we are using it in depth. Against each bill, what we are doing right now is attaching the approval as well as the invoices against each transactions. So with this, what happened is it become very easy for us during audits. We don't need to worry about, we just give the access to the books of accounts to the auditors with the user settings, and they will start the audit. Normally, the final discussion, 1 or 2 discussions, we will have it based on their audit findings. This is the way audits are being conducted. So there is a drastic changes in the audit processes, and tools are available like this, which is very robust in terms of technology and in terms of assessments, etc. That is what one of the things which we have been using it to optimize our processes and ease of operations. Another question is how to divide bank interest in different projects. It's a very tricky questions. So there are one of the method which some organizations are, but basically this is required only for the purpose of donor reporting. Am I right, Shailesh Panwar?
Yeah. Yes.
It's only for donor reporting, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Not from the statutory perspective. As far as income tax or FCRA is concerned, they are not worried about whether the bank interest is related to which project, etc. It's for donor reporting.
Yes, I agreed. It's a donor purpose. Yeah.
So in the case of donor reporting, so what many of the organizations, whatever I have seen, organization what they are doing is they are allocating the interest based on the inflow of funds.
কি ভুল হয়েছে আর আপনার
Okay.
There is no other way, there is no standard way. Otherwise, you need to clearly demarcate, okay, this is the fund, this is what the FD, or this is what the interest, etc. So we are just allocating it based on the inflow of funds.
Okay. Thank you.
Again, the same issue is there in terms of bank expenses also. It's not only bank interest. Many of them are having the bank charges as well. This is one such question, especially if you are dealing with FCRA and all, the bank charges are there, which is how do we allocate? These are all questions which is there generally, but bank interest, we used to take it based on the inflow of funds. Any other questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, this is Dharmendra Prasad from Cohesion Foundation Trust.
Okay.
My question is related to at the end of March 31st, we have to make all the expenses to all the funding to zero. Means there is a CSR law, law actually, like 31st March को सभी funds आपके zero हो जाने चाहिए. ऐसा डोनर का काफी रिक्वेस्ट रहता है और तो वो हम लोग जीरो करते हैं, बट हमारे साथ कोटक बैंक का एक प्रोजेक्ट है जो 31st मार्च को ही हमारा मतलब नाइट में इंटरेस्ट क्रेडिट हुआ और वो क्रेडिट हुआ, उसकी वजह से हमें काफी इशू हुआ था. उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट?
There is no answer to that particular thing, that we need to manage it. Discuss with the people and manage it. There is no answer, because I will tell you another problem is as per the books of accounts, okay, the interest was supposed to credit on 31st. Okay. In one of our organization, what happened is the value date of that, they put it as 1st of April 2024. As per books, 31st March, but value date is 1/4/2020. I don't know, it could be an error or mistake or whatever it is, but this is big amount, it's not a small amount. Now auditors identified, they say that we need to reverse it. If you reverse it, the problem is bank statement balance will not match, because you will have a problem in FCRA, income tax, everywhere you will have problem.
Yes.
But this is the issue which this year, it happened in this year. So we don't have an answer to that one. What we did is we reversed it as per auditors requirement, and then we put a statement in the notes to accounts. That's all what we did.
Okay sir, thank you sir.
So can we open a current account for this?
The current account for what?
This bank interest issue.
I couldn't get that. The question is not clear.
If we open a bank current account for this project now, for that clawback issue, so we don't receive any bank interest and problem भी नहीं होगा.
That is up to. But then many of the donors will say, isn't it, that excess expenditure should be deposited properly and interest should be earned. There are certain in the agreement, donor agreement, just read that particular agreement. Many of the agreement you will see that interest has to be excess. What is it called? The wording is excess fund over expenditure should be deposited appropriately. That means yes, we need to earn income or interest on that. So if that is the case, there is no way. So yes, SBI, those who are having FCRA, they will be able to know, because the account opened Earlier it used to be, earlier it used to be current account. I heard that somebody has opened SB account also, which I don't know. In the case of current account, what we are all doing is we are excess fund, always we are putting it for a short term fixed deposit and then managing it. There is no other way.
So in our case, we have current account in both FCR and in local.
You can do, there is no harm in doing. Even our case is like that one. We are having both sides, it's current account. So there is no interest, I agree. But let us say the donor says that the excess amount should be deposited and interest earned on that should be reported in the donor